Good afternoon. We're getting ready to start soon. I'll just give another 60, 120 seconds to get some people to sign on. Thank you. Okay, we'll start in 60 seconds. Thank you for your patience. Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome again. Thank you again for joining us this afternoon, this Saturday afternoon, for our last class in this 5-part series on the road to financial freedom. It's been an exciting 5 weeks for me, and all the preparation and all the studying to make sure we get the information we need to get out in a constructive and well presented manner. So I appreciate it that some of you have stuck with me since the beginning, and then we're coming to the end. We're coming to the end. So today we're going to talk about the last two principles as we come to our end of our study. Again, as I say every week, my name is Ralph Hastings-Spaine with Financial Strategies and Trainer with Simplified Wealth Builders. And my passion is to just teach and help people, and family business owners prepare for a successful retirement, teach them strategies that they can use and implement. And I hope the last 4 weeks, you've learned something that can help you as you prepare, for retirement. And again, today, Simplify Well Builders, right? We're a financial education company. We do workshops, and we help our clients design plans to, grow and build wealth and be able to transfer those wealth over to their kids. And I have with us again today, he's been hanging with me for 5 weeks, our Minister Antonio Chicks, and he's going to continue. And today he's going to teach on the last letter in the SHAPE series, Lead Now, the Shape of Self-Leadership. So today he's going to talk about the E of SHAPE. So let me start with our quote for this series, which and some of you maybe have memorized it by now, but I think it's a beautiful quote that just sort of encapsulates what we're doing here. It is by managing your finance that you write the story of your life. You're both the author and the principal character. Resolve to perform what you ought. Benjamin Franklin. So that is our quote for the series. And let me just move on to our review. So last week, I spoke on principle number 7, which was taxation, and principle number 8, which was banking principle. I talked about national debt and the greater possibility of increased taxation in the future. I also talked about, taxable retirement buckets or tax-free retirement bucket, and places that the banks and wealthy people put their money. And I talked about index universal life insurance and some of its characteristics. I don't know if any of you have any questions regarding that. If you do, you can put it on the chat and I could try to address it. If not, then I would move on to this week's principles. So if you have a question about last week, let me know. You can type it on the chat. If not, I'll move on to our next principle. Okay. So no questions. So let me move on. So this week, our principle number 9 is retirement readiness, the big picture. Retirement readiness, the big picture. So what does retirement mean to you? What does retirement mean to you? Think about it. You can type it on the chat and just tell me what retirement mean. What retirement means to you. How would you what would you think is a successful retirement for you? Would be a successful retirement for you?
I would say next chapter.
Next chapter. Okay. Good. Let me see. Somebody type something here. Live comfortably during retirement. Okay. And if I could deep dive, we can go in what does comfortable mean. Do you want to live in Park Avenue? Or do you want to live in Beverly Hills? Or do you just want to live in your neighborhood? Right. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch a poll because I normally get the polls at the end. But I want to launch these polls because they will help us and give us some direction as we go. So give me a minute here. Let me bring up this poll and then you can answer those questions. There are 2 parts to the poll. The first one would ask you what's your dream, how you dream of spending retirement. And then the second part will ask about what is your greatest fear. So let me launch the poll. And if you could take a few minutes, a few seconds to just answer that so I could get some feedback from you. How do you dream of spending your retirement? And you can select all that applies to you. Okay. If you can respond to the poll, I'll appreciate that so I could just get some feedback. Great. Okay. Spending more time with family seem to be leading there. Travel. Okay. Let's just take another 30 seconds to finish, so we can see what the results are on this poll. So, greatest fear. Okay. So I will end the poll in another 10 seconds. So if you're answering questions, go ahead and finish. So let me end the poll, and then let me share the results. Okay, so the question, how do you dream of spending your retirement? 100% of you, want to spend more time with friends and family. Maybe 3% of you want to travel and pursue other hobbies and do volunteer work, start a business, pursue a new career, others. And so the second question, what is your greatest fear? Outliving your savings and investment. Not being able to meet basic needs for my family, social security not being there, decline in health. Yes, that's a major concern for a lot of people. So we've seen those results. Let me just stop sharing that. What is interesting is that the results that we got today are not different from a result that Transamerica Center for Retirement Study, they do this annual national survey. And these are the results from 2019. As you can see, similar to what we had, more people think about traveling when they retire, spending time with family, pursuing hobbies. Those are the things that people want to do when they retire, right? You can see they almost, to some extent, mirror what the answers that we got here. And then when it comes to fear, outliving savings and investment, that was the number one fear, and that is also the number one fear that we got here. So we can see from on a national level and even on this microscopic level, that what we're doing here, you can see that the people think about retirement, have the same dreams, the same ambitions, and they also have the same fears. So let me continue now and talk about the good news. The good news is today many people are living longer. It's expected that some people may live 20, 30, even 40 years into retirement. So that's a good news. Life expectancy is longer and you have more opportunities to do some things. But the bad news, unfortunately, right, is that most people have no idea what it takes to survive financially through retirement. And their main concern, like all of you that answered the poll said, is will we outlive our money? That is a major, major concern for a lot of people. AARP did a survey, and they surveyed their members, and 61% of the people said they fear depleting their assets rather than they fear dying. So think about that, right? They tell us the fear, the greatest fear that everybody has is dying, right? We don't want to die. We get scared. But these people say they fear running out of assets and they fear dying. And I could understand that, because if you run out of money at age 80, it's better for you to be dead, right? So I could understand why most people are scared and think that depleting their assets is a greater fear than death. But what's the good news? We can help you get a clearer picture of what your financial years may look like. There is help out there. There are things that can be done for you to have a clearer picture. So you don't have to wait. You have to take action. I think that was what Antonio spoke about 2 weeks ago, about action, right? But the bad news is many people that are planning for retirement are affected by what we call the lump sum illusion. This occurs when people, feel comfortable with a large sum of money, that I have a large amount of money in my retirement, but what they've never done, they've never determined how long that money would last. You see, how much money you accumulate at retirement is an important piece of the puzzle. Don't misunderstand that. It's important that you accumulate money, but by itself, it does not mean as much as you think. There is what I call the myth of the magic number, right? People have in their mind a magic number that they have to get to, a number. And you see this on television. Commercials come up, I think Prudential had an ad where they'll get people, to go on the wall and write what they think their magic number is, right? You see, people are told that reaching your magic number is the key to success in retirement. Well, that might not be true. Because if something unexpected happens, something that is costly or core, like a market correction or a critical illness, that can cause your retirement savings to fall short. So the amount of money that you save is a part of your retirement story. There are other things that you have to take into consideration as you prepare for retirement, as you get ready for retirement. Because there are basically two aspects of retirement readiness. There is, first of all, the fundamental readiness. Fundamental readiness basically is you've looked at your assets and you've structured them in a way where they can provide for you the greatest possibility of financial success in your retirement, right? This include, planning for how much income you'll get from your assets, when to take those withdrawals, things about taxes and risks that are apparent in that. So there is that aspect of being fundamentally ready, where you've done the things that need to be done with your assets structurally to be ready. But then there is another part of it, which is the emotional readiness of retirement. And there is a link between the emotional readiness and the fundamental readiness of retirement, right? Emotional readiness is the feeling of confidence that you have that your plan is ready, that your plan is right, that you're fundamentally ready. This comes from knowing that your plan has been structured in such a way that it will fulfill and meet your needs and your wants in retirement, and that you're also able, in case of unexpected events, to be able to manage those events also. So these are the two aspects when you talk about retirement readiness: being fundamentally ready and also being emotionally ready. So when you look at that, the reality is many of us are not ready. Many of us are not ready. There are risks that are apparent in some of our plans that would knock us out if we look at our plans, right? We don't understand sometimes the effect of inflation, and sometimes we don't look at to the cost of healthcare into retirement. So a lot of us are not ready to retire. I was in a training several months ago, and the gentleman who was doing the training made a statement, and I thought this was a simple way to explain retirement income, the aspect of retirement income planning. And Ryan said in that training, he says, income is the outcome that matters most in retirement. I couldn't think of a more succinct statement to talk about what it means about retirement income planning. Income is the outcome that matters most in retirement, because studies have shown that the happiest people in retirement are the ones who know that rain or shine, hell or high water, they will receive a certain determined amount of income every month, like clockwork. These are the people who travel. These are the people who do the fun things in life. The people who do not have that guarantee, who do not know what to expect on a monthly basis, do not enjoy retirement, whether they have money or they don't have money. So it has been shown through studies that the people that enjoy their retirement are those people who know for certain how much money they would receive every month, coming from Social Security, from their investments, from their IRAs, everybody know exactly how much money, and they can plan their lives around that so they can do things. So this statement, I believe, is so critical, that income is the outcome that matters most in retirement. There are 5 risks to your retirement income. Some of them might seem familiar because we've been talking about some of them throughout the series, right? There's market risk. Market risk is one of the risks that is most, I believe, underestimated by people going into retirement. There's a period in going into retirement which are considered the most not dangerous, I would say, if I can use that word, period. The 5 years before you retire and the 5 years after you retire. If you get hit by market correction in those areas within that 10-year period, 5 years before you retire, 5 years after you've retired, it is difficult to recover what you've lost. So market risk is one of those risks that can affect your income. Tax risk, we talked about that last week. We talked about taxation. I'm not going to beat that dead horse anymore, right? Inflation risk. And in inheriting inflation risk is the risk of healthcare, because healthcare cost is going up faster than the normal inflation rate, right? And as you get older, that becomes one of the major concerns that you have for healthcare. The other one is longevity risk. We all want to live longer. We all want to live as long as we can, but the longer you're alive, the greater the chances of you developing medical issues. So longevity, living long, has its risks. So you have to be prepared for that. The number says 1 out of 2 people after age 75 will go to a nursing home, will demand nursing care, either at their home or go to a nursing home. 1 out of 2. The last risk is survivorship risk. Meaning with your assets that you've had, how do you transfer that to the next generation without losing it with regards to taxes or just not planning well for it. So these are 5 risks that will affect your retirement. So let's look at an example here. Gary and Jenna are 53 and 47. Gary earns 60,000 and Jenna 48,000, right? And both of them want to retire in 10 years. They have total assets of over $500,000, $508,000, and their monthly expense is $7,000 a month. So what is the outcome? What is the outcome for them? The outcome is that there might be a financial shortfall in the horizon for them. Based on their spending habits, right, and the income that they get from all these other sources, it is projected through detailed analysis that they will run out of money. And without any change, they will run out of money 14 years into retirement. So they retire, and 14 years later, they've run out of money, even though they had $500,000 to start with and money coming from Social Security, they would have run out of money. So the question for you is, what does your retirement future look like? If you look into the future, if you look ahead of you, what does your financial future look like? Part of what we do is help our clients answer those questions, and we can help you answer some of those questions. Questions such as, can I continue my present lifestyle in retirement? When can I retire without running out of money? How could my situation change during challenging economic times? How would it affect my family if I die prematurely? How would it affect my family if I enter into a nursing home? What are the possible solutions if my situation changes? So these are questions that can be answered. And we help our clients do that. So let's just continue with an example and see, will you have enough? Here is an example of a couple. And it shows from this chart, if you can look at it, that they run out of money at age 85. So with today's longer life expectancy, we need to avoid financial analysis such as this, just in case we make it into old age. If they die at age 40, at age 80, it's good. Age 81, age 83. But if they live longer and get to age 85, they would have run out of resources. So what if we could change a situation such as this and make some recommendations to help things look better? So with a situation like that, with Gary and Jenna, through some analysis and some recommendation, we can eliminate that red line from their finances. And as you can see here, even at age 100, they have over $500,000. So if they die at that point, their beneficiaries can still inherit a significant amount of money. But it takes you getting a plan and looking at it and seeing how things are, right? You just cannot wait till you get to retirement and say, okay, now I want to act. It might be too late for some people. So there has to be a proactivity in the sense that you start looking at what you're doing right now and seeing what are the changes that you need to make so that you can have a better outcome. So as I said, income is the outcome that matters most in retirement, right? And that income that matters most is protected income or guaranteed income, because guaranteed income equals retirement readiness. You know, last week, when I thought we talked about the rules and one of the about how the rules change, and I talked about the Secure Act of 2020. And one of the provisions in that act, I don't know if I mentioned it then, but one of the provisions in that act, and if you have a 401k, you're going to start seeing this, is that the government, they're now allowing 401k sponsors to have annuities as an option within the retirement plan. So in the next few years, they're working on it. You're going to start seeing your 401k, you have an option to choose an annuity. But well, why annuity? Why are they allowing annuities to start going into 401k plans? Because annuities are the only financial vehicles that can give you guaranteed income. The government is seeing the challenges with retirement coming up, right? They know Social Security is in trouble. So they want people to have guaranteed income within their retirement. So now they're going to start having annuities within a retirement plan, so that people can choose that option of having a guaranteed income in addition to what they have for Social Security. They know every month that I will get XYZ amount coming in. I don't have to worry about the market. I don't have to worry about anything. I'll have that amount. So you're going to see those changes coming, because retirement income, guaranteed income, is retirement readiness. If you don't have guaranteed income at retirement, you're not going to be ready for retirement, and you're not going to have the peace of mind that you need for retirement. So at this point, I'm going to bring up my friend and brother, Minister Antonio Cheeks, and he's going to continue his teaching on the shape of self-leadership. And today he's going to talk about the E of shape. Mr. Cheeks, Pastor Cheeks, are you ready?
Well, I got elevated that quick to pastor.
Man, I'm gonna call them and let them know that's what I'm making you now.
Oh, okay, all right.
So
You're
yeah,
gonna lay hands on me, and that's it. Hey,
yeah.
Ralph, man, I just wanted to say, I want to echo to what you were saying earlier about the listeners and viewers sticking in there over these 5 weeks and just gleaning this information.
Mhm.
And they are just heroes. I was sitting back here watching you talk, and I was thinking about how, looking at all the heroes that are on the Zoom call, that have decided that they would make the time investment, physical investment, into their future and their retirement. And I think it's also a testament of who you are, because they're sticking out, to hang out with you on a Saturday
Yeah.
in the middle of the afternoon, and they don't consider it robbery to hang out with you. So keep doing what you're doing, man. And I think you're really, impacting people's lives. So you know
Thank
what? With
you.
that being said, man, let's give a round of applause to Ralph. If y'all can do like a little reaction thing or something like that, a little hand up or something, and just say thumbs up, a clap, maybe a praise hand or something like that, just for my brother for just putting this together and taking the time out to, just to teach us and help us, man. That is so cool. I'm letting this trash truck go by. Timing is something. I'm in another room because we have a couple of sessions going on at the same time today, and I actually had to plug into the hardwire. I had to go old school and not use Wi-Fi. I had to use the actual what do you call it, Ethernet,
Mm.
so I can make sure that I don't lose connection, because we're teaching. On that note, the word for the day, the letter for the day is E. And the E is to excel, a commitment to excel in everything that we do, everything that we touch. We want to be great stewards over the things that God has given us, including our finances. But in everything we do, we want to excel in that area. And there's a scripture that goes along with that. If we can bring that up, it's on Proverbs 22:29. There it is. Do you see a man? And when I say do you see a man, we're talking mankind. So ladies, don't be thinking you can get past this. You're involved in this. Do you see a man who excels in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before unknown men. So what the scripture is saying here, man, if you watch somebody like you who decides that I am going to put both hands on the plow and not look back in whatever I'm doing it, whether it's your business that you're birthing, you're laboring through this business that you're trying to start, whether it's that, whether it's in your career, maybe you're an executive, or maybe you're just a frontline person at work, or even in your family. Maybe you're just taking care of the family right now, and that's the season that you're in. You have decided to excel in that as a leader. So you want to do that. So here's what we're trying to do when we excel. We are avoiding mediocrity. We're not just living. I mean, I remember Ralph was talking about retirement, and the one thing I thought that was funny in the survey, 0% said they wanted to continue doing what they're currently doing, or doing what they're doing in the same field. Nobody, there was 0% on that. And I thought that was kind of interesting. That's for another discussion, because I'm like, man, why are you doing what you're doing if you don't want to do it anymore? Or if something like you just don't want to deal with it. But that's another lesson. But yeah, we want to avoid being mediocre. We want to be those individuals that are a shining light. When people see us, we on a hilltop that people can see, like that beacon of light, that salt in the world that people can rely on in these times. And these are some interesting times. I mean, it's almost getting to the point where I don't even look at the news that much, because I mean, what kind of attitude would you have walking out if you look at the news? I mean, it's just really some interesting times. Uh, but yeah, we want to avoid being mediocre. The other thing we want to do when we excel, we're just going to recap. We're going to excel in our sagacious leadership role. So we're going to make sure not only we're just not being knowledgeable, we're going to be that person who is getting all the knowledge we can about a subject. We're going to be a person that is going to have great discernment about the things and decisions we make in life. We're going to excel as a sagacious leader. And then next, we're going to excel in our having a healthy heart. And we talked about in this series, in this time together, we talked about that healthy heart being our mind, body, and soul. The very fiber of who we are is what we want to make sure we excel at. We want to excel at doing that. Take care. I'm at a point right now with this COVID-19. I was talking to a friend of mine. I said, have you ever heard someone say that all this sitting at the office has made my rear end expand? And he said, no, I never heard that. I said, well, I was on a treadmill the other day, and I looked over at a reflection on a painting or something like that. I just saw a reflection, And I was like, interesting. I need to I need to keep working out. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced this, all this sitting in and staying in the house. But yeah, we got to make sure we are excellent, excelling in how we take care of our health, our mind, our heart, our mind, our body, and our soul. Are we studying on a regular basis? Making sure we take quiet time. That's one thing I'm starting to really make sure that I get in, is that time where I can actually spend time alone. For me, I'm always trying to get better at spending time alone with the Lord, and to see and hear the whispers that are trying to come my way from the Lord. So you might want to participate in that. I don't know. But the next thing we want to do, we also want to excel in the action that we take, not just haphazardly, but really being committed to the actions that we're going to take, that we take action that is very decisive. When it comes to our finances, I love that quote from that's been our theme quote for this season. That our finances, man, is really an indicator of who we are and how we lead, and the lifestyle that we're going to have. Man, that thing really resonated with me. So I'm glad that Ralph shared that. I will keep that very close to me. But we want to excel in our actions. I was talking to a gentleman the other day, and he said that he was writing a book, and then several months went by, and I said, "How's the book coming along?" He said, "Well, I haven't started yet." I said, "Oh, you have you don't want to write a book. You just had an interest in writing a book." I said, "If you really wanted to write a book, you would have at least had a couple of pages down by now." So you got to ask yourself your question: is it just an interest, or is this something I'm really determined that I want in my life? Excel in your action. Then we step to the part about persevering. Oh, we want to excel in our perseverance. We don't want to give up. Um, we talked about how, when you just hold on, be steadfast, renewing yourself, that in the end you will win. In the end you win. In the end we win. uh, but we got to be perseverance. Don't give up. There's this picture, we don't have it here today, but there's this cartoon picture of this guy digging the mine for diamonds, and all he has to do is take one more strike of the hammer, and he has it. But because he got tired and started to faint, he turned away from his one last strike at the wall, and he didn't get the diamonds. He didn't get the wealth, the riches. And you determine what that is for you. What is wealth? What is riches? For me, trying to spend more time with family and friends. I remember back, I used to work so hard, and loved ones would be sick, and I'll get a chance to go see him. I'll get a chance to go see him, and you don't get to see him, because time passes on and they pass away. And so that's why, for me now, one of my big things for me is creating that space for quality time to just sit with people, sit with family and friends, so persevere through that. So at the end of the day, if we do these things, we'll excel at our shape, which was being sagacious, having a healthy heart, taking action, being perseverance, having perseverance through all, and excel in your leadership. Excel in your leadership. Man, I hope these notes that you've been able to embrace some of these ideas as far as shaping your leadership. And man, I want to personally thank, if I could see you all, if we was just not in this COVID environment, I would come up and hug each and every one of you and to say, hey, thank you for hanging out. And I just want to say thank you. Hey, if you would like to stay out, and connect, there is an email address. Again, like I said, we have a couple of trainings going on at the same time, and we're always training around leadership, effective communications. If you want to get better at communicating what the Lord has put in you, and you want to let the world know about it, you definitely can connect with me and our team, and we'll help train you through those things. Uh, Email me at antonio@thecheeksgroup.com, and I will help you be a part of our community, joining us and being able to receive videos and emails that might have little nuggets in there that will help you get through the next level. So anyway, I want to thank you, and I'm gonna hang out. We're hanging out because I'm got my pen and paper right here, making sure I take copious notes about what Ralph is talking about. I like saying his whole name. Ralph Hastings-Spaine is talking about. So hey, look, I hope you stay tuned as well. Thank you so much for having me.
Antonio, thanks, man. You've been a great inspiration throughout the series. I appreciate
Uh,
that, and I appreciate our relationship, man. Thanks
Thank you,
very
brother.
much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so as I continue, let me just go to our next slide. Principle number 10: organize your finance to create more wealth. Organize your finance. I'll start with a quote that I started with at the beginning of the series, and it says, "A goal without a plan is just a wish." A goal without a plan is just a wish. So we've spent 5 weeks together. We've talked about budgeting. We've talked about a whole lot of things, and I'll do a recap on that. But do you have a plan, or is this just a wish? Is this something you wish to happen? Because without a plan, that's all it is. It's not gonna happen. You know, you need a roadmap. You need to organize, stay organized because it's important, right? Because the difference between retiring comfortably or not depends on whether you have a roadmap, whether you organize. Because it is not how much money you make; it's what you do with the money that you make, right? We've said that before. You see, because once you decide on your financial goals, a financial plan then becomes your roadmap. All of us, well, I can't say all, some of us older folks remember when there was no GPS, right? And you want to go to a place and you stop at a 7-Eleven and go ask them for a map to look at the directions for where you were going. Lucky enough, we're still alive to see GPS come around, right? You plot in your direction, and if you miss a turn, the lady tells you, recalculate it, or turn left, turn left, turn left until you get. So if you can do that just to drive to a place, within the city, within your county, or within your state, how about your financial future? You need a roadmap, because with that, he will help you to monitor your financial plan over time. And you're prepared to make adjustments as your needs and circumstances change in the future. But without a roadmap, you don't know where you are is where you should have been, right? So you don't know if you're even going in the right direction. So the roadmap is what would help you. We have tools that we use with our clients, that we let our clients, we offer them to show them how their map and their future can look. We use a software, and I think I'm showing you what that looks like here on my screen. So we'll take a client and go through all of the information, look at their assets, expenses. We'll look at taxation. What taxation look not only for now, but also for the future. What they look at retirement, before retirement, what is their retirement going to look like? So we will walk through all of this with a client. So you need that. You can get it from us, you can get it from somebody else, but you need somebody to help you put a plan together. Because if you don't have the plan, it's like you're flying blind, you're going blind. You would get there, right? Like they say, a broken clock is right twice a day. You will get there, but maybe not in the time and the frame that you want to get into it. So have a roadmap. So that is principle number 10. There's not much to say about that. It's to have a plan. So as I recap what we've been through the last 5 weeks, we started off week 1 with the principle number 1, which was spending is emotional. We talked about that, about the 8 triggers of emotional triggers that you have. And we talk principle number 2, we talk about having a budget or spending plan. I sent out some information. I don't know how many of you, started a budget, or if you didn't, or if you have one, maybe you did some things to that to make it look better. And then the second week, we talk about saving is actually delayed spending, and the encouragement to save money, and look at this as a way to put things, not get into instant gratification. And then we talk about power down your debt, right? And the challenges that debt presents to your retirement plan for now and also for the future. And I think I showed you a study of the concern that they have, that the study identified with a lot of people getting into retirement with a lot of debt, which means they might never have to retire. They'll have to continue to work to service those debt. So the power of getting down your debt, and I showed you a program where we took a guy from 30 years in debt to 7 years to get him out of debt. We, in the third week, I talk about the rules, right? Know the rules, market rules, taxation rules, invest savings rules. And then I talked about how the rules change. And I highlighted two laws, the tax law of 2019 and the Secure Act of 2020. How they change a lot of things about investments, about savings, about retirement, and all of those. And then we talked last week about taxation and banking principle. And today we finished up with retirement and organizing your finance. So these are all the things that we've gone through. So to help you and to continue to assist you to get you started, because I know it's not easy to get started. It's not. Procrastination is, that's part of our life, all of us, right? We procrastinate. So part of what I want to do, and whoever is available who wants to be part of it can be part of it, is that we're going to do a 5-day Facebook challenge. And for the people that are on WhatsApp, you will get the information too. But over the next 5 days, we're going to start with just encouraging each other to put these things together, to have a budget, to look at our debt, and to start to build our financial picture. So at the end of the 5 days, you would have started this process of putting things together. And if you're interested, at the end of that 5 days, I will offer you a free, it's a 32-page financial analysis that we do for our clients, which comes out of the retirement analyzer, right? So you can see, let me see if I can show you that one here. So this is a sample of what it would look like. Expenses, talk about Social Security, your retirement assets, other assets that you might have. We'll look at your taxes, how that's going to affect you. Look at your monthly expenses and project them into the future, so we can make a better decision how you compare to to the national average. How is your expenses structured? We'll look at your liabilities and look at retirement, taxation. Go through all of this. How much tax you might have to pay in the future, and understanding the effect of income on your Social Security benefit. So that is a 32-page report that we can get to you. We can give that to you as a complimentary report, because you want to start, and we want to encourage you to start. Because I know for all of us, that is our biggest challenge, taking that first step. And if we could encourage you to do that, it would be a blessing to us. And just to recap with what Minister Chicks spoke about, right? Week 1, sagacity. Week 2, we talk about a healthier action and perseverance. And today he just spoke about excel. Minister Chicks, I don't know if you have any other closing remarks. You want to add something, or you think you've said enough? But
No, you know what?
Yeah.
Do I think I've said enough? Now, Ralph, you know better than that, man.
I know better than that.
We could keep on going. But when as you pulled up this circle here, I realized something as you was going around. It's a perfect circle. And most of our lives are not that perfect. It's bumpy. It got little jagged edges and things of that nature. And the goal is to move closer and closer to that circle, so all of us got a little dip here. We got a dip in our health, we got a dip in our finances, we got a cut. Well, no, how about a cut in our finances, not a dip? You're like, oh, that hurts. But that just, when I saw you go around it, that made me really think about when you look at a life wheel. In coaching, they have life wheel and health wheels and things of that nature. And when you look at that stuff, typically people will fall in different areas of the wheel. Nobody is a 10 all the way around. And the goal is to just see where you're weak at, and try to get better each day in those areas where you think, not where you think, where you see. I mean, nothing like the truth setting you free, right? I mean, when you see, people try to avoid the truth, but it's like a dripping water in your house. You can try to ignore it if you want to, and wait till that ceiling drop on your head because you never took care of that little drip. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I like what you're saying about this report, that and everything like that. That report is the truth. It's the
Yes.
truth. And it's not like it's good or bad. It's neutral. It's just the truth. It's the starting point for you. So I'm interested. I'm interested. It's a starting point. Like, okay, where am I? And you can set your vision from that point on, because we don't want to perish. People perish when they don't have a proper vision.
Yeah.
And but I think, just having the truth card is really, really vital, man. So I just wanted to say that. Again, I'm thankful for the people. Again, oh my God, the people are the heroes of the day. The people that are on the call right now, those are the heroes, man, of the day. They are the ones who have stayed in here and said, hey, I'm gonna stick this thing out and see what Ralph is talking about. And I'm happy that they didn't, click off every time my video came on. I would have been like, oh man, they clicked off on me. So, but they didn't. They stayed in there. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for that, man. So, and we'll talk. We'll continue to talk, brother.
Appreciate that, man. Thanks. Thanks. So I have the last poll, and this is a feedback for us. So if you can take some time to answer these questions, it would help us, because we want to get better. All of us want to get better, So these your answers to these questions will help us with our workshop, with our webinars, as we continue to do them, and it would be a great insight for us. So if you can take a minute, let me launch this poll and just rate us, so we know where we fall, where we stand. No, not fall, where we stand. We don't fall. So if you can take a minute, we'll take a minute to just go through the poll and just give us a rating on content and clarity and usefulness of the information and the presenter, and would you recommend the series? And yeah, so just give us some information on that. Appreciate that. Okay, we have another 30 seconds as we finish this. Okay, let me just end the poll here. Wow, these results. Oh man, let me share these results. So these results are encouraging. And they're encouraging to me. I know they're encouraging to Antonio also. Because all of us have fears, right? I don't have a fear of public speaking. If I had it went maybe over 20 years ago, because I've been talking in front of people for a while. But doing webinars and Zoom meeting was a new thing, and we all have fears whether people will want to come on board and look at it. So you go out in faith and schedule a workshop and do all the things, prepare all your notes and all of that, hoping people would listen to you. And so I really appreciate your feedback that you've given today, because it's an encouragement that we're doing what we're called to do. Because sometimes we need encouragement to do that, right? Because there's always some doubt telling you, no, you can't do it. You can't do it. For me, it's always been, oh man, your accent. But I'm finding out people love my accent. So I'm going to be talking more. But again, thank you guys for the feedback. We appreciate that. And it's going to just encourage us to keep doing what we're doing. So thank you very much for that. So let me continue here. So we have a few minutes before we close. So do you have any question? Any question that, will take a few seconds to answer. If it's longer than that, then you can get to me either through my website or through email or WhatsApp but do you have any question? Something that that you haven't that you want to you need an answer to?
I would add to that, Ralph, questions, comments, or concerns. I like saying that, students be like, oh, yeah, okay, I do got something. Question, comments, or concerns, or what frightens you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Melrose, for that. Appreciate that.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So, Ralph, I'll say this. I have, for those who are interested, I will send it probably to you, or if they join, email me. I'm going to do a couple of workshops, webinars, one-day webinars, where we're going to do some training on public speaking and why people who are faith-based should be definitely grabbing the microphone, because we have great news, but most of us are afraid. And we want to tap into why the enemy is trapping us and closing up our mouths when we have so much power to speak boldly with bold assurance. And so that webinar is coming up soon. So again, stay connected if you're interested in that.
Okay. Somebody said, I need to organize a financial seminar for my family. Can you guys do it? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I like this one is great. Anthony said, I didn't envision being in my 30s planning for retirement. My mindset has changed, completely changed. Yes, telling you, Anthony, I love talking with the young folks, man. I love talking with them, the young people that are, my kids' age. And I love talking to them about finance, because you have so much time to get it right. And if you do the right things now, it's going to be awesome for you, man. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
I like that. I like that. So let me finish here. What I'm going to do, I talked about this book last week, Tax-Free Retirement. I'm going to send everybody that is on this call today a copy, right? I can't send it through email. It's a gift that you're going to get from me for being on this call. And I'm telling you, once you read this book, it will change a lot of things in your life as you think about it towards retirement. So we'll mail them out to you, but we'll need your mailing address, right? Most of you, we have your email address or your phone number, but we don't have your email address. So your mailing address, your physical mailing address. So if you want the book, and that's up to you, you might not want the book, but if you want the book, send us your mailing address. You can send it. I'll bring up my information later. You can send it to any of those sources. And once we get that, we'll send you a copy of the book, because I think it's a book that can change your life. And when you finish reading it, pass it on to somebody else, because people need to understand how to prepare for retirement. Because if they don't, they're going to be in for a big rude awakening. You know, so if you want the book, send us your mailing address and we'll send you a copy of the book. Right. Last week, I sent out a link to stress test your retirement. Unfortunately, I don't know why. Maybe people are busy. Only a couple of people did the stress test, but I think it's a beginning way for you to start to see if you're ready for retirement. So that link is still available. If you're interested in the link, let me know. We'll send you the link to just stress test your retirement. Okay. So as I finish here, I just want to take a moment, because some people were not here in the beginning. Some of you came, halfway in, and you're here till the end. But just want to do a recap on our model so you understand how we work with financial simplified wealth builders. We use a model, what's called a virtual family office model. That is what we work. Basically, we provide proactive and holistic value to you and your family. If I can use the example, it's like we have all of these things under one roof: retirement, estate planning, insurance, debt, and business owner services, right? And we have experts in these areas that are looking. So when I'm talking to a client and the client is looking at estate planning, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not, I don't play one on TV. I don't play one in real life, right? But within our virtual office, family office, we have those resources. We can put you in with somebody that is aligned with what we're doing to help you with estate planning, to give you the information that you need. So we if you can use the analogy, I would say, like we're general contractors, right? And they're subcontractors. If you're building a house, you have a general contractor and subcontract, and these subs are specialists in their own discipline and trades, right? So we have people that we work with as a team to be able to bring this holistic, proactive value to our clients and their families. So I hope that explains a little bit about how we work. So I finish. You can join our Facebook group and Simplified Wealth Builders, and also we're on WhatsApp. If you want to be on that, send me, or you can reach me on WhatsApp at my number 240-723-8725, and we can, because some people are not on Facebook. If you don't want to be on Facebook, that's fine. And just this 5 weeks have been great. They have been. It has been a lot of work. I can tell you that there's been a lot of work, because normally we do workshops once a month. So to have been doing it every week for the last 5 weeks, it has been a labor of love. It's been a labor of love, and I really appreciate that, because it has helped me a lot in my development also. Next month, May, is Disability Awareness Month. So our next webinar that we're going to be doing, we're going to do it on May the 13th, and then we're going to repeat the same webinar on May the 25th. It's on short-term disabilities, about disability insurance. Disability insurance disabilities is one of the factors that threaten most people's financial stability. Because for the average person, if they are disabled and they can't work for 6 months, they would be in big financial trouble. So our next workshop is going to be in May, disability, and we're going to send information out. If you're interested in being part of it, you can register once you get the information. And if you know people who might be interested, you can also send the information to them. So as I finish, I want to say a big thank you to all of you. I really appreciate it. As I said, there was some trepidation in whether to do it, to do the Zoom, and would people respond and come. And by you coming, by you being you be part of it, you've encouraged me a lot, and I cannot thank you enough. And I hope the information that we've shared have been helpful to you. And if there's anything we can do to help you get started, right? Because it's one thing to have gotten the information, but it's another thing to take that next step, that action step that Antonio talked about. Because it is only by you taking the action steps that things would change. Because getting the information doesn't change anything unless you act on the information. That is when things change. So if you need to reach out to me, these are ways you can reach me. You can reach me through our website. You can email me. You can call me. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook, and all of that. So I again thank you guys. Thank you for your time. I appreciate that. Thanks, everyone. Antonio, thank you, my brother.
I didn't know I was muted there.
Yeah.
No, hey man, you are welcome, man. You are welcome. I think this is the after hour. When we teach a class, sometimes the students, I think I told you about this, the students be hanging out like, man, no, don't leave yet. We want more stuff. And so so next month is Disability Month.
Yes, Disability Awareness Month, man.
Yeah. People don't realize, man, that we have the death part on our brain, but accidents happen